What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Rich of Review Tech USA. I just wanted to make this little intro so you understand the scenario here. For many of you that use PayPal, whether you're a business or just if you want to purchase things online, the reason we use PayPal is because it protects us, especially if you buy stuff from eBay. If you deal with a shady seller, even if they have 100% rating, some people are still shady. And PayPal will protect you, though. They'll make sure that if you bought something and the seller doesn't come through, and where something shady happens or you get a broken product and the seller refuses to refund you, PayPal supposedly has your back. Well, Chris from Windy Gaming, he runs a small business where he does imports with games and things like that, and the seller overseas that he purchased product from did not come through. And even though PayPal's job is supposed to be to protect people like Chris, they failed to do so, even though he has documents and emails proving that he did the right thing. It's a very complicated and interesting story, but if you use PayPal, whether you're a business or a customer, I strongly suggest you watch the whole thing because it is very alarming, and that's why I wanted to put this up on YouTube. Enjoy the video and let me know what you think in the comment section. Skip it up and that up. What's going on, my friend? Long time no see.
No, it's been a hot minute. You're not wearing your hat.
I'm not wearing my hat because they get the stream understandably gets mad at me because when I go through my webcam mic, it sounds terrible. I got to kind of change my setup so when I do these interviews, I could not have this on my head because I love this headset but it feels like it weighs 2 tons after like an hour.
Oh, I gotcha.
So. I brought the reason why, like I said, guys, I brought Chris on because this is a very complicated situation. And you sent me, I don't even know, there was a whole bunch of emails of notes and documents, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's no way I could do this without screwing it up. It was just so many, it was so detailed, and the situation was so complicated. I was like, you know what, let me get you to come on and explain it from the horse's mouth. So.
Do it. Yeah, first off, not a Trump hat. I see someone kind of talking about.
No,
Trump.
It's not a Trump hat. It's kind of like a play on the Trump hat, make Konami great again, which, if anyone out there knows the situation that Konami's in, I think you will agree with that hat. As soon as I saw that hat, I bought it. Like, when I was at the video game convention, I bought that in like 20 seconds after I saw it?
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty great hat. We love this hat.
It's amazing. I love it. I don't think mine has the Konami logo on the back, though.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
Huh. I gotta look for.
They're all stitched in too. They're nice hats.
Okay, I'll look for. I gotta look for that later. But anyway, so Chris, explain to them what your business is, and explain to them what you do first and foremost, so they understand where you're coming from and what you do.
All right, so I own a company called Windy Gaming. For the last 3 or 4 years, it happened on a troll. My business was started on a forum argument. With a guy that hated his customers, and I said, F it, I'm going to go make my own company, neener, I'll take your customers. It's kind of funny. So cool, no big deal. I became an import shop at a time where there wasn't a lot of importing going on. I graduated to arcade machines, doing the importation of Japanese arcade machines. Very cool stuff. Not a lot of people doing it. We're hard to kind of come by. Happy to say I brought, a few hundred over from overseas, and now there's a lot more out here. And then once I was kind of done with that and the market became flooded with other sellers and other people doing it, I went from a decent-sized fish in a small pond to a small fish in a very big pond. I've progressed since then to manufacturing, and we just released our first product, which is a Super Gun. You got to see that. You got to see its debut out in Jersey, which plays arcade boards on your television without the need of a whole machine that we've ground up built.
Which is awesome. I saw that. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. I'll tell you, switching between the actual video feed and your feed is a trip because of the delay. It's just deeply funny.
Well, it makes you have this stream muted, right, on Twitch?
I have stream muted, yes. I muted your stream. I'm listening to you via Skype.
And it's delayed, huh?
Well, if I look at my video stream on Skype and then the Twitch, there's a couple of second lag. It just
more than a couple seconds. It's like 30.
Polite to Twitch.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds. It's nuts. It's weird. Like I have on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't mean to cut you off. I have like a chat night. That's why you're here. And it's funny because like I'll respond to something and I'll see a response like 30 seconds later in the chat. I know they have something where they're working on where they're going to make it like there's virtually no lag in between, but I heard it's still kind of at the moment. But anyway, I'll let you continue. My apologies.
No worries. Just got to wait for that tech to catch up with
Yeah.
the ID.
Yep.
So let's get going here. So around the springtime of this year, I was dealing with a vendor that I had a couple of issues with, but wanted to kind of fix everything that went wrong and approached me correctly. Apologies exchanged, yada yada. At the end of the day, I was shorted a significant amount of product, and they were going to get me that product based on whether or not I was going to do a little bit more business with them. And it wasn't a lot of business, but it was a little bit more business. And I went to PayPal about it. And I said, PayPal, I need to know that I'm covered. If I do this, here's what's happening. We've had a long-running mild feud. But I'd like to fix this. Everyone can walk away happy. Am I still going to be protected? And they said, yeah, no problem. Okay, cool. So we do the business. The purchase was about $5,300
Which is a huge purchase.
for a tiny company like me.
Yes.
For a bigger company, it's a drop in the bucket. For me, it's me. I bootstrapped. Everything that Windy was, it started with $300 and a goofy dream, and it turned into something real. I have a warehouse. Like it's cool to see where it's grown to, and I went to PayPal and made sure I was going to be covered if I go forward with this. God forbid this goes bad, because otherwise it's a no go without PayPal in the mix. I'm dealing with someone overseas. I'm dealing with Asia. So no, not a credit card scam. Just dealing with Asia. And I had to talk to PayPal Asia, make sure everyone's on the same page before I make this thing happen. Everyone's cool. Everything's in writing. Life is good. I make the purchase. And product shows up approximately 2 months later. We open up the container. There was some arcade machines. There was some additional parts and components that were missing from a previous dealing I had done. And I want to say and I was shown pictures of everything beforehand. You put the handwritten note in front, which is kind of the poor man's way of not photoshopping.
Yeah.
Like, here, this is for Chris. And everything looked good. Everything, met my approval. I saw a live video of everything working perfectly, and what I got was not what was advertised. So, sell you a book, mail a brick. The basic thing in all of, the PayPal, protection. And I got bad product. I got broken product. It was shipped badly. I had about $10,000 in outstanding orders based on what was coming in on this as well. So
Oh, wow.
I had a lot of money involved with this. It was not the NES Classic Limited. I wish it was. Sorry, Fluffy. What ended up happening was I explained this to them. I made a list of what's going wrong, and it went bad. It was just a deal went bad again. At some point, PayPal Asia wasn't able to process correctly the payment that I sent. So they had my vendor split the payment. They had them take $1,300 off, which I don't know what kind of cap I hit with $5,000, but I hit some kind of a cap with them. They had them refund me $1,300, and I had to send them a separate $1,300 payment. This is what I found out is what's causing me all of this misery, because this happened under the instruction of PayPal Asia. And I double-checked with PayPal North America. Everything is good. Um, sorry, a friend of mine just came in. I've been kind of tweeting about this. Um, anyway, PayPal Asia happened. I file a chargeback after 2 months of bickering back and forth. PayPal suggests you need to talk with the people and try to come to a resolution before we go nuclear. And I gave them 2 months because PayPal gives you 6 months now to do a chargeback. So let's try to get this thing fixed. At the end of it, the dealer never shipped. In writing, never shipped. I filed a chargeback, and PayPal found against me as it was my fault that the dealer didn't ship what was sold to me. The dealer still shorted me huge amounts of product. And, Chris, you're boned. What are you going to do?
How did they find it against you when you paid for product and didn't receive it?
So here's the funny thing. When I split the payment, that broke their terms of service, even though they told me this is what I have to do.
And you got that in writing from them too, didn't you?
I have that in writing. I sent that to you earlier.
You can send me an email of that. Yeah.
You've seen it. Yes. Real Jack Son. PayPal basically fucked me. And that's what happened. I filed an appeal. I talked to, I escalated it. I talked to other people. The customer service people were exceptionally rude. They felt the need to talk over you while you're on the phone with them. They want to be like, hey, what's up? I know more about this case than you could possibly know. And I'm like, no, this is what happened. Asia and North America, not shaking hands here. You guys need to do it. So I appealed a second time. They found against me again. I appealed a third time. They found against me within 10 minutes of the third one. They didn't actually read it. That's also in writing. You've seen that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I did see.
They asked me for anything additional I can give them, and I'm searching through. I found like 2 emails I didn't send them. I sent them additional emails that gave them the info, some more detailed info. I'm talking hundreds of emails were emailed to PayPal. Hundreds of documents. It took me probably 3 or 4 hours to get them all of the info combined. Excuse me. And then PayPal said, we're not going to read it. You're still wrong. You still lose. At that point, once I officially lost, my vendor cut off communication, so now I have no recourse. What happens now? I'm out $5,300. I don't mess with my customers. So I had to refund about $10,000 to my customers. I had about a $15,000 liquidity shift this August.
See, that's what I want people in the chat to understand and on Twitch to understand is that not only $5,000 is a lot of money in and of itself, even if you have a medium-sized business, but because he didn't get these parts that he paid for from this vendor. On top of it, too, orders that he was supposed to be paid for that people either pre-ordered or whatever, he couldn't get those out. So you lost even more money because people who paid you had to either refund them or you couldn't give them the product.
Yeah.
So it was a domino effect. It wasn't just that, some company didn't send me something from China. Yes, that's terrible in and of itself. But it snowballed because then people who he needed to get these components for so he could make the products that paid him or pre-ordered something, he had to either refund them. So it was a snowball of him losing money.
Yeah, and I'm deeply sorry to everyone. This is a very long story. I've tried to condense this as much as I can. It's a very, very messed up story. So sorry.
And now this is why I wanted you on, because I know I would have missed out parts or not understood parts or.
I almost missed the split part again, like when I told you last time.
Yeah.
Because it's so convoluted. It's so stupid. Those wondering if I'm going to be suing, I already have a lawyer on it. It's already being looked at. But it almost cost me my business. I literally came within a stone's throw of closing my doors this summer after 4 years because PayPal didn't do the one thing that we pay them to do. I looked it up. Over the course of my business, I've probably given PayPal about $25,000 in fees. And that's just PayPal. That's not my credit card people. That's not my cash buyers. That's just PayPal. They've made enough money off of me to say, hey, this guy hasn't, whatever. People don't charge back against me because I take care of them. I've built my whole business on customer service and taking care of my people. Um, it's just been one of those interesting trips. My new product, the Super Gun, has completely revitalized it. I'll tell you this. After the liquidity shift, after everything, it took 4 years of my business, and it took my bank account to about $1,000. Try to launch a product with $1,000 in the bank.
Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ.
Gray hair. I have a video. I'm manufacturing video game accessories now. I was a video game importer. I'm sorry, Gray Heart. Um, anyway, yeah, it's been a trip. I mean, I'll tell you guys that it's just been I don't know what to do anymore. I just kind of I have to sit here and deal with it and try to slowly build up my bankroll. I had to stop paying myself, so I'm basically doing Windy for free at this point. I took a terrible day job. I used to have a real career at one point in my life. I had to take a terrible day job to keep the mortgage paid in the interim, because PayPal wouldn't back their buyer, their user. Like I've never heard of PayPal fighting against the buyer ever. This was just the one time. If it was a $20 deal, I wouldn't have cared. If it was a lot of money. It really
And in the end, it wasn't just like I said, the down payment that you put down to get the product that you got screwed over on. Is that and the way it beyond the fact of you said it was like over $10,000 in terms of what people pre-order or ordered. It also tarnished your business in terms of it made you look unreliable, even though it wasn't your fault. Even though
I'll stop you with that one. What's great about the way I've built my business, and the way that I run my business and the people that shop with my business, I was not thought of as unreliable in the least.
Oh,
Everyone
you
my
got lucky
customers understood.
then.
I stayed in touch with everyone. I didn't hide a damn thing. I was very honest and forthright. I said, "Hey guys, I got effed on this deal. I'm sending you back your money." I didn't argue it. I didn't say, "Hey, whatever." I said, "Hey, give me a month. Let me figure this thing out." I mean, I certainly said that. I'm not going to bail on that many deals at the same time. But my customers are absolutely amazing. I love them all. There's been very, 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 very rarely do I come with a customer I can't figure something out with.
You're very lucky. You're very lucky then, because many people would not be understanding in that.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is when people end up finding me, they find out through someone else because, like I said, I built my business on customer service. They know I'll always take care of them. I've had deals gone wrong. I'll never say I'm perfect. Things go bad. Someone gets something they didn't care for, whatever. I'll still take care of them, and that's what people remember about me is as I take care of the people. I mean that's what it is. So as long as you take care of your people, they'll be there for you when you're hurt. I'm not saying they're going to let me keep their money. That's a totally different story. But I made sure that no one lost. The only one that took a loss was me on this. I mean that's really that's where it was at. So my customers are absolutely incredible. If you ever watch my Twitter feed, when I do my big shipments, I do big shipments once or twice a week. I'll take a picture of it and thank everybody because holy cats, all these people that don't know me are spending $300 a pop with me on this new product.
Now, what exactly is the new product? 'Cause I'm sure that people are going to ask and be interested now. May as well plug your business at this point. It can help you.
Free plugs. I also see how you're very, very PayPal friendly on the bottom of this Twitch stream. Jerk.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to call them out, though. It'd be PayPal friendly all you want to. I'll still call them out.
Oh, absolutely. This was really, really, really a travesty what happened. So my new product, we do a super gun. That's the new one right now. Basically allows you to play arcade boards. So you go get an arcade PCB. So the guts, the computer on the inside of an arcade machine, anything JAMA. Couple of small exceptions, which I can note later, that aren't necessarily compatible, but arcades are weird. Let you play arcade boards on your television without without an arcade machine. So go in via S-Video, SCART, Composite are the three video options right now. SCART would be your RGB option. Um, and yeah, it's really neat. Right now, we're in the middle of designing our next one, which is we have a controller coming. We're doing a full professional grade fight stick. It's going to be pretty wacky. It will be PS3, PS4 compatible. We just got approved to be vendors for Brook, so we're going to be able to rock the Brook Universals. You can plug it in your PC too if you want, so it doesn't necessarily have to work with my box. It'll be a full-fledged professional level fight stick. That's the next thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's the next thing. We got a couple other things in the works as well, not quite announced yet, but we'll get there. Like I said, I'm rebuilding. I'm literally starting from scratch again. Anyone still watching? Thanks, the guys that have supported this from the beginning. Rich, you signed my charity one. We gave away the last pre-production model. Had it signed by a bunch of the YouTube community. We auctioned that one off for charity. Those guys were also very grateful. So thanks again for that.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's just the reason why this struck a chord with me is that I use, like I said, PayPal all the time, and PayPal has covered me before, and that's the reason that PayPal's whole reason for existing is to protect against situations like this. You know, to protect your money, to protect your finances. That's why even though eBay split from PayPal and eBay no longer owns PayPal, they still virtually, that's the only way you could do, I think it is the only way that you could do transactions on eBay now. I'm not sure. But the reason why it's the main focus of eBay is because everyone's ass is covered.
Well, it used to be the same company.
Well, I'm sorry?
They used to be the same company.
Yeah, eBay owned PayPal. They sold them off.
Yeah. Actually, what really gets me more than anything is PayPal's recent push. And this is kind of a funny thing to me. They're pushing the PayPal loan. They have a small business loan sector. They're like, oh, we're going to help small business. I've used it. It was a great product. So I'm not going to bitch about it. But they give very, very good, favorable rates to people starting out, to people that are established. And at the end of the day, they want to say that they're behind small business 100%. And at the end of the day, what they did was crush my small business. And it's such ridiculousness. I mean, I would think that a business account that's doing more business than probably 90% of the people out there, you'd think they'd try to have these guys' back. I don't take PayPal on my store anymore. People call me out on that. Why don't you take PayPal? I'm like, I'm sorry. Use your credit card. Credit card will afford you the same kind of protections. I'll pay the higher fee to not use PayPal. Because if I'm not safe, you're not safe. So I wouldn't put my customers in that same position.
What I just don't understand is you have documented proof of, what you were told and what happened. What are they saying against that? Like, what are they saying?
Okay. Deeply funny, per PayPal and in writing. You have this in writing. Emails are not admissible as evidence in your case. Emails do not. So all electronic transaction, emails do not count.
So what the hell is supposed to count if something like this happens?
I don't know. I think the last email I got from PayPal was just it was like a poop emoji and it just said "Go fuck your mother." That was the last thing I got from them. Yeah, they don't take emails are not evidence. I have the vendor saying I haven't shipped yet. I have no plans on shipping anytime soon. I have no schedule for shipping. Please don't file a chargeback. Like you have those emails. I have PayPal Asia emailing me to tell me to do the split payment. That's inadmissible. PayPal telling me to do it is inadmissible per the PayPal rules.
But can't they prove, I guess they're trying to say, oh, yeah, you could make up that we sent those emails, but can't they prove that they sent them from, it's provable, that where it came from?
Actually, I have in writing, and I believe you have those emails as well. When I get the weird emails from PayPal Asia, because it's a very different format to what we're used to seeing, and I'm sure you saw the difference, I verify with PayPal North America to make sure this is a legit email from PayPal. I have them all verified from PayPal North America. Yep, these are real. Go for it, dude. So, yeah, they're verified by PayPal. PayPal says this is official.
Wow.
Inadmissible.
So they're admitting their emails are official. They know they actually sent them. They know they told you something, but it's almost like someone really screwed up and shouldn't have told you that, and now they're looking to cover their own ass, is what Correct. It seems like. As a matter of fact, it probably is what it is, to be honest with you.
And Cold Keys is asking. I see him here. PayPal Asia with the question mark. PayPal has different divisions. They don't. There's PayPal Europe, PayPal North America, PayPal Asia. They don't necessarily. They all operate independently under the same umbrella. So I hope that clears that up for you. But they all don't necessarily have the same rules or the same terms of service. But when you have to deal between the two divisions, you have to make sure they're shaking hands. And I did what I could do to make sure they were shaking hands. And then when I tried to show them that handshake, they said inadmissible, and I lost.
It almost seems like a lack of communications between the different divisions of PayPal
That's
too.
exactly what it was. I asked them, contact this person in this division. They said no.
Wow, this is the whole point of them existing. This is why, like, I had to, like, how many? Let me ask you guys in the there's 200 over 250 of you there right now. How many of you guys use PayPal? Like, I'm sure a lot of you. I know a lot of you said you hate it, but I'm sure that sometimes it's a necessary evil. How many of you have used it or still use it? PayPal has a credit line. I don't know if they have a credit card.
They have both.
They have both. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's some nopes, but there's a lot of I do's there. Yeah. Because it's just you kind of have only for eBay, because on eBay I believe you have to now. They used to have other options. My friend Dan uses it for hookers. Good for him. Yeah.
Would that have to be PayPal gift, or can you charge?
You broke up. Oh crap! You were like totally froze.
You there? Still there?
Now you're back.
All right. I
Sky-
slightly moved my laptop and it worked. I was actually asking about your friend Dan, who uses it for hookers, if that has to be via PayPal gift or if you can charge back.
Let's see if he actually answers with a witty response.
Because that's a very like this is inquiring minds wants to know stuff.
But the point, like my point being, is that PayPal is such an important, like, it's made itself so important, and that was the thing about your whole situation, is that you basically prove that the main thing that PayPal is there for. You may as well have sent an envelope with cash to Asia and hope for the best. You probably would have been better off.
Most overseas businesses demand a bank transfer, and when dealing with, say, Japan or China or any number of vendors that are unknown overseas, they want a bank transfer. I won't do it unless I've known them or they're a known commodity to me, which is why I would prefer to use PayPal. In fact, in a perfect world, if PayPal could make it better with me, yeah, I would probably use them again, just because
it makes it easier.
Whatever, but they would have to, assign me someone. I talked to a friend of mine who owns a pretty good-sized shop, and they do a lot of business. And they're absolutely incredible people. I'll plug them too. It's theyeti.com. They do the T-shirts. A lot of YouTube guys get their T-shirts from them. YETEE. They make T-shirts. They told me when they got to a certain level, they were assigned their own business level. So if anything ever goes wrong, lips to ass, and it's fixed.
Oh, nice. Must be nice.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've done decent business. I don't do their level of business. I wish to God I did their level of business. Good for them. That's just I don't have access to that level of care, and just because I'm sorry my business isn't doing in the millions upon millions of dollars, that's why I'm not doing it. I mean, what are you going to do?
But that shouldn't matter, though, because now something like this is going to go on YouTube, and it's going to be bad, because I'm sure they have a bunch of small guys, which add up to millions upon millions of dollars per year for them of revenue. So now, if this video goes up and something like this goes up, and it turns off those smaller businesses, they could lose that. So they shouldn't do that preferential treatment. I mean, that's kind of what happened with Dell. If you remember Dell, they had for customers, they gave horrible on phone customer service that was overseas, and their business which were more profitable for them, supposedly, they got the preferential treatment. Then when customers complained and people got really pissed off, then they finally gave them better customer service. But that it's the same thing, because if you lose the smaller businesses, a lot of them, they add up. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. It's a completely screwed up, messed up situation. I hate that I had to call a lawyer. Most lawyers, I called several. I ended up running into one really cool, like a crusader type of lawyer. That's who I ended up going with. And he's incredible. But most of them just said, "Yeah, I'm a business lawyer, and the amount of money you're looking to recover, I mean, it's nothing, man. Just write it off."
They don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah, in the scope.
No,
of
they don't.
business,
No. Let me rephrase that.
$50,000 loss is very write-offable in the scope of business in general. In the scope of my business, it's the difference between me buying groceries or not. It's a bad spot they put me in. Like I said, I had to stop paying myself to recover my business and get another day job while I rebuild my business.
That's insane.
I mean, and I'll tell you, it's not a very good job. Not for my multiple degrees, but those guys over there gave me a job. So they're very, very cool, nice people. It's not what I was getting paid, you know. It's something to keep the mortgage paid. You do what you got to do, you know. I've never been a bum. I'm still doing it because I believe in it. Like that's the most messed up part. Like I probably should have closed the business, and I believe in it. And the problem is my customers believed in me too. So, you know, you want to make them believe again, and it's getting corny. And I'm waiting for like a Jesus talk, but that's not where I'm going. Like I really I love what I do with this, and I don't want to do anything else. That's all I can say, man. It's, you know, just from the heart kind of shit.
And I'll get all the information. Make sure leave me a link to I'll have a link to his website. It's Windy City Gaming, right?
No city. Those guys are jerks. That's another story for another time. But they do gambling.
Why did I thought the whole time Windy? So it's Windy Gaming.
Windy. There you go.
Okay.
It's on the shirt.
Oh, good thing you corrected me then, because I would have put the wrong website in the description. Oh, that would have.
Correcting you. It's Damaco.
Damaco.
Yeah.
Okay.
You butchered my name twice.
Did I really? Okay. So Christopher Damaco and Windy Gaming. If you have a link to your website, you might want to put it in the chat before you go too. And here,
I'll toss it over there in just a bit. Yeah, look, I'll do it right now. See?
Yeah.
w.windygaming.com. My website sucks right now. I got a friend of mine redoing it. It should be coming back to something much nicer. That was my old design, which is great for buying 1 million individual video games. Now that I have like 7 items, it's a lot less dynamic. So I have a nice new dynamic site that's coming very soon as well.
You're awesome. So thank you so much for coming on. I think this was really important, like I said, because I use PayPal probably weekly, a couple times a week, and I know a lot of people, like I said, I saw in the comment section, use it a lot, and it's an eye-opener because we use it. I've used it because I think it protects me, and it's a convenient way to know that, you know, if I put out large sums of money or need to purchase a product, if there's an issue, I'm covered. You may not always be covered, especially, you know, and especially if you're a small business, it could be devastating.
Tread carefully, but yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. I know we've been talking about it. I got sick, and then you had your beautiful kid, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, so we've both been oddly busy the last couple of months, so I'm glad we could finally get together and do this. So I really, really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I owe Pat the NES Punk. I got to do an overview of his book too. I've been so behind, man. I have products that I have like a stack of stuff that I got to get to too. So I'm just glad I got to you. Pat's next, and I appreciate you coming on. This video will also be, guys, on YouTube. So if you miss it here, I'll have links to his website in the description, and you can check it out there. And hopefully this gets the word out there, and people are aware of what's going on.
Awesome. Hey, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.